Guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Welcome back to another high rating spectate. Today we are watching KHA'ZIX. So the reason is obviously I'm jungling a little bit more in recent season than in the past, and there are some comfort picks that I know. You know, my Elise will always be there, stuff like that. My Zack's not doing too bad. My Bel'Veth recently has actually been doing really well. I think I've actually maintained 100% win rate with Bel'Veth. But KHA'ZIX is a champion that I used to play, and haven't played him in a very long time. Have I made this slow? It looks slow. That's too quick. I have no idea. It looks slow. Even Toaster just said in chat it looks slow. No, that is right, because it's faster movement speed at the beginning of the game. Okay, dude, I got so confused then. But yeah, we're watching KHA'ZIX because KHA'ZIX I used to play a lot of. Hilariously, for those that are newer to the game, you might be like, huh? I used to play him in a different role. I actually used to play KHA'ZIX in mid lane, as that is actually the role he was released in. And some people might be like, hmm? So when KHA'ZIX first got released, the meta was very AD heavy bid. And KHA'ZIX himself, he was a hybrid between an assassin, clearly, that's what he is, but also kind of a poke AD champion, because you actually maxed a W, evolved a W first, with also a tier item of Manamune, and it was really effective. That's actually how this champion started in League, and then he was supposed to be a jungler, that's what Riot intended him to be, so then very quickly he kind of became a jungler, but he was very good in mid lane for a while. Very quickly at the beginning though, runes. First strike, obviously standard assassin rune nowadays, or dark harvest, one of the two. First strike, magical footwear, futures market, I'll talk about that in a second. Cosmic insight, spell haste, and item haste, obviously being granted there. Treasure hunter, sudden impact, and then attack damage, and health. So why futures market? So futures market, from what I can tell, is a very obviously hyper aggressive rune that you're basically investing in a heavy early game to try and get items quicker, for a punishment of it technically costing more. Like you put yourself in debt and you need to get out of debt, but you manage to get that quick item power spike that can make the difference. So that's what it's for. So honestly, with something like a KHA'ZIX, it's not too surprising. I don't think Lee Sin himself, you know, the other jungler that I like, as relatively an early game jungler, I don't think he could probably do futures market. I'm sure there probably are some Lee Sins that potentially run it though. That might be worth considering, because he really also needs those early items to start the snowball going. So relatively, or not relatively, he's going to do a full jungle clear. Honestly, with these new pets, full jungle clearing is stupidly easy to do. Again, Riot admitted themselves, like, they have dumbed down jungle. They're trying to make it more accessible to anybody to do, and ways of doing that is you actually have a pet that you don't control but helps you clear. They're obviously, and I'm not against it, on the minimap at the start of the game there's the typical jungle path that champion takes in solo queue, and it's telling you in order what to do. I don't think that's bad. It's actually quite good, and as someone that I'm just getting back in the jungle myself, I'm using that. You know, when I was a few months ago, some people may remember, I was using a website called like Jungle Path GG. That's basically what that website is. It was basically helping me get a jungle pass. All right, here we go. So if I was the Echo, I'm going to be honest, I would have expected that. Like, he really committed for it. She's here. Yeah. And then W's back. Passive, it's this one on the right, I'm pretty sure. Is it not? No, it is. It is definitely that one, yeah. No mana Camille, by the way. Yeah, she's not going to get him. But yeah, that Echo, I'm going to be honest, that wasn't great. Fine to go for the early gank, try to get the Camille. He must have skipped a camp to do that. He's on 20 farm when KHA'ZIX at the time was on 24. So that means... Oh, and then KHA'ZIX gets a return kill. That Camille did not give up. Wow. That's going to be a double scuttle crab potentially for KHA'ZIX. That's really good start for him. 2-0. There's the Echo trying to. Doesn't even get there in time. And now the Echo is going to be quite far behind. And that's one of the principles of jungle, is it's so snowbally, because usually one jungler can get something and the other simply cannot. So KHA'ZIX now looking. Echo was lurking probably to see if he could kill the Zillion just to try and get himself back on the board. But yeah, they also, they made Krugs easier to kill, because in past previous seasons, junglers would literally ignore Krugs, where now you should be doing your Krugs. They give a decent amount of XP and gold and etc. And they're not actually that hard to kill anymore. Mainly, again, because your pet... Well, they've reduced how many you have to kill, and your pet is also helping you. So do not ignore Krugs. Level 5 KHA'ZIX, though. 36 jungle farm. Or farm. Unfortunately, replays have been bugged for a while that I can't show gold. Which is a bit annoying. One of my complaints is doing these commentaries quite often, and I like doing like educational commentaries, is the replay feature within League of Legends is the most bugged thing constantly. You know, I still don't think it's fixed in many principles, so, and it's a bit annoying. Lissandra's going to follow up, does miss a bit of spells, does land her W, going to try and give time for the KHA'ZIX to get there. He is there. Can he get the kill, though? It is this one here in front, and boom, Lissandra gets on the auto. So what I would say is obviously this KHA'ZIX is playing very well, but he's also playing in a way that I can see a bit in myself. He is not based. And I literally was speaking today earlier on stream. I'm still streaming right now. I am a complete and utter goblin when it comes to jungling. And a goblin, our term for it, is someone who is holding too much money instead of going back and buying your items. I am an utter goblin when it comes to the dragon. And the thing is, the reason, and it's for a set reason, and I think this KHA'ZIX might have it in him as well, is when you've gone back and you're buying items, it means you cannot help. You know, you're out of commission for the time that you're going back to buy something. And it just feels in the jungle, you constantly want to be doing something. You constantly want to be ganking or farming or doing dragon. So when you're back in base and you're buying, to me, it's a different feeling to when you're in lane. It's just weird. You just have that like, oh, I'm not doing anything right now. Level 6, by the way, already hit by KHA'ZIX. Very nicely paced jungling going for him. 6 minutes and a half roughly for level 6. He did, by the way, if you haven't noticed, he evolved claws. So this is partially why I wanted to do a high rating spectate. This is one of the best KHA'ZIX on EU West players. Does he not? Is he actually not going back right now? Oh, he's going to go for the Scuttle Crab. Again, just denying the echo. LeBlanc roaming bot lane. Does end up getting the kill. Bot lane is struggling a bit. Will say, this video that you're watching, I'm recording this a few days ahead of where my actual live commentaries of today were. Caitlyn, obviously, this is now on the patch B. Yeah, she was nearly in every single game, and she was also banned a lot today. So people are very much valuing Caitlyn, and you can see there's one in bot lane here. Not incredibly convinced that you should get Dirk first, but still. Holy Jesus, he just bought a Prowler's Claw. So there we go. That's one of the benefits of being a goblin, is you just get to have these insane power spikes that the enemy team don't really expect. Hey, Morgan. So that's the thing. When, you know, the KHA'ZIX has been strong, but now that the KHA'ZIX has just gone from basically 0, hadn't got an item, to now Prowler's Claw, you know, the Echo and the LeBlanc and that, they might have been fighting this KHA'ZIX a little bit, and they go, oh, I roughly know his damage. And, you know, if you're just buying a long sword at a time each time you base, that, you know, they can expect the damage ramp up. But now that he's got a Prowler's Claw, the next time that this Echo fights the KHA'ZIX, he's probably just going to get blown away and simply not expect the damage. So that is one of the very weird, and I would say rare benefits about being a goblin, especially in the jungle. It's because you pop up with such a bigger power spike than the enemy team is used to. They just don't expect it. And it's like, what happened? And it's like, oh, he has a whole another item compared to what we were used to. So what I would hope to see from this KHA'ZIX, and he's not doing it, he's doing objectives, because obviously he missed the first dragon. I was going to say I would like to see him invading the Echo. Obviously, it is hard to kill an Echo because he's got his ulti. Just, you know, if you completely one-shot him, then it's fine, but that, again, is quite rare. KHA'ZIX himself has got no hard CC, so he would have to basically either one-shot him before Echo can ultimate and react, or kill him, in essence, twice. It's a dart taking. So now Rift Herald's been done. If I was Echo, obviously hightail it out of there. She should just ult. She doesn't have it. So I was going to say, if Camille has ult, she should have, because that would have given time for KHA'ZIX to get there. But obviously, Camille did not have ult. And here we go. Now the invader's happening. Because of the replay, we actually can hear this. And there we go. Bam. So now here's the problem for Echo. He's too low, and KHA'ZIX will kill him anyway. Flash by LeBlanc to try and get the angle of E. Stealth. He's looking aggressive. Lissandra makes away. Oh, here we go. Prowler's Claw. Ow, does get killed in the end, unfortunately. A little bit too much, but nice play by the Aatrox, sorry, to turn up. Very easily. Couldn't have, but they will. kill the LeBlanc. So that's not too bad. It's a shame that KHA'ZIX died, but they were pushing their luck a little bit too much. So now Mercury Treads now purchased for KHA'ZIX. So again, another completed item. Yes, it's boots, but he's buying completed items at a time. Don't typically do that, is what I would say. Yes, as I said, there is a benefit to being a goblin, is these big power spikes, but that does make you weaker in fights. Like, periodically, it makes you weaker. Now, here's also the point, is Caitlyn is 0 and 2, and they've now destroyed the enemy tower. It's dead. Zeri is also 30 farm down. That is how much pressure a Caitlyn has in lane. She could be dying and losing. She's 0-2 and still murders your tower really early and is still 20-30 farm up. I think that's where Caitlyn at the moment is just being considered very strong. So look out for Caitlyn. The only negative to Caitlyn, and I'll say we did experience it today as well, is she's not the best hyper carry. Nice Camille ult, free kill in that regard. Camille, obviously, as a jungler, is a dream to gank for, because she just holds the target still. You know, that's one of the things of the jungler is, are they running away? We can't get to them. Well, Camille's like, lol, no, I'll just hold you still. So very nice in that respect. Rift Herald being done. And one thing, again, is always worth considering, because there's always different approaches to jungle. And how's it going, Taha? So many people, when I was picking up the jungle a little while ago, going, Huz, you're not doing perfect clear. You're supposed to do camp by camp by camp. If you notice, the KHA'ZIX has basically ignored his blue side jungle now for over 2 minutes. Has completely and utterly ignored it. So to a more, you know, play-by-play, very, you know, methodical way to jungle, they'll probably... Nice double kill for Caitlyn. They'll probably say, oh, that's not very good. But that is what I always said, is you cannot flash out of Camille, no. That's the thing that I've always said. Jungling is not the role that you can do the same thing every single game and expect it's fine. You can't just do the same clear and continuously doing that every single game. You can't. You've got to react differently every single game. You've got to do something slightly different. There's going to be times that you just farm. There's going to be times that you just gank. There's going to be times that you're more focusing on objectives. That's the biggest skill with jungle. It's why it's the hardest role, because if you're mid lane, most of the time, let's be honest, you're just staying mid and you're doing mid lane things. Jungle is different because it's about doing all of it together. So don't go too far, because he's going to just ulti. Prowler's Claw used. He didn't do the best thing there. Oh, why would you go right next to a KHA'ZIX, Zeri? Again, I like the name. Good car. Does end up dead. They're probably going to go down now. Oh, he got him in the bubble. That didn't seem right. And then he gives Nami the kill. That's not actually that bad as well. Caitlyn might even kill the Nami. There's a chance. Never mind. She's got flash. I've got a very dry throat at the moment. Hello, Jibbles. So yeah. That didn't seem right. That looked like KHA'ZIX killed Echo while floating in the bubble. All right, top lane always having their big old fights. Camille obviously is having the advantage so far. And KHA'ZIX respawned. Not with a completed item this time. First time this game has only got 2 full components. Ah, damn. So yeah, I would definitely say this guy is, and I'm not saying it's a terrible thing, you know, the goblin playstyle of holding a lot of gold and basically only basing when you absolutely have to or you die. I would say he is so far ahead at the moment, it doesn't matter. He got pretty ahead early in the game. The Echo, by the way, is on Dragon right now. That's the one thing the Echo is trying to do, and I don't know why KHA'ZIX doesn't jump in. Is she just going for the one shot? Close. Dragon gets the kill. Flash away. 2 level up is the KHA'ZIX. Nice dodge. Oh, Prowlers, and then goes down, but it stops them doing Dragon. Pretty nice play, has to be said. Don't think Dragon will be done. Lissandra roams top lane and Aatrox dies. Will say I don't blame Aatrox for dying there. Why? Because when Dragon is being done, as an Aatrox top lane, you would never expect there to be a Lissandra just turning up in top lane at your tier 2 tower. You'd never, because that doesn't make any logical sense. But yeah, he's now completed U-moves. So yeah, for the KHA'ZIX to be a bit of a goblin throughout this game, the early game is a bit different because, you know, you don't have that much of a lead in the early game. But after he finished Prowlers on his first base, he can be really greedy. Because as you might notice, Echo hasn't even got his first item complete. So KHA'ZIX is ahead no matter how much gold he holds onto him right now. Echo is not going to catch up quick enough. So it's not that bad. Now, he's respawned, returning straight to Dragon, which I think, yeah, is the right thing to do. Obviously, he can solo it. KHA'ZIX very good at killing dragons. Obviously, he's got isolation damage, and obviously, he's evolving. Now, what I'm interested in now is to see what does he evolve second. Typically, the Q playstyle Max used to always like to evolve his ultimate, but obviously, we will see if that is still the case. You know, the thing with KHA'ZIX that some people may not realize, throughout the years of this champion existing, he has practically maxed everything first at one stage or another. Hey, Thorkin, maxed and evolved. Pretty much he's sometimes evolved ult, sometimes he's evolved Q, W, hell, even there, I think there was a time he evolved E first. And here we go. What is it? Oh, it's W. Wow, okay. So this is more the absolute damage way to play KHA'ZIX. So it's the, yeah, he's playing it the more absolute damage way. Obviously, your ultimate gives you, yes, it gives you damage because it's proccing your passive more, but it's utility with stealth, or more stealth. And then obviously maxing E is utility with movement. Maxing W is giving you more damage on more people continuously. So yeah, this is kind of the more, and you know, I don't know if this is typically what this guy would do every game, or is it just because he's popping off he's doing this? I'm not sure. But when you're having a pop-off game, this is what this guy is doing. So yeah. So he's waiting for an assassination by the looks. Again, having a Zillion near you is always a great thing as an all-in champion like KHA'ZIX. You could literally get Zillion ulted and then run in, and you know you're safe for quite a few seconds. Obviously, Rengar is great for that too. And obviously, KHA'ZIX and Rengar were kind of yin and yang, as it were, in Alien and Predator is obviously what they're supposed to be. Yeah, obviously, the slow for KHA'ZIX isn't bad too, and ultimately, that is giving you damage as well. The slower your prey is, they can't get away from you. It's giving you more auto attacks and stuff as KHA'ZIX. So yeah, it's good for that too. How much is it nowadays? It is 60% slow nowadays. And then isolated enemies are slowed 90% instead. So 90% slow. And there we go. W into the fight. Again, oh, jumps overboard the Nami. Just finishes her off really quick. Caitlyn gets nicely revived. And the Aatrox doesn't really have anywhere to go. And obviously he has run out of... Nice kill. He has run out of his ulti. LeBlanc split pushing. Wouldn't say that's probably the wisest thing for LeBlanc to do. Because again, LeBlanc does kind of fall off. You know, this LeBlanc is 2 and 5, so some people may say she's split pushing to try and recover her game, and that's likely what she's trying to do. But for a champion that she's going to kind of fall off, her split pushing, and she still is split pushing, is very questionable. You know, you never, like, that fight wasn't close, but if LeBlanc was there, I'd imagine Caitlyn probably would have died. And with Caitlyn there, it might have actually saved them breaking into the base. So, yeah. Echo looking for a rebound kill. KHA'ZIX coming over into 3 people, into the stealth, into... Whoa, that's confidence if I've ever seen it. Prowler's Claw doesn't get the kill, I don't think. Oh, he did with red. Oh, my God. Again, that is absolute confidence by the KHA'ZIX. Really nice play. The use of Prowler's Claw, as you can probably tell, is quite effective. KHA'ZIX is already fairly mobile, and then you add Prowlers onto it. It basically means he can weave in team fights, which is not normally... Well, he can do that with his ulti and stuff, but it just is adding more. And then usually, you know, an assassin, their strength is that playstyle, and then this item is basically elevating already that strength. It's where Prowlers is quite strong in that regard, and it's where, like, I've always mentioned that I don't love when items are giving what I would consider champion level mechanics. And Prowlers is, let's be honest, is a champion level mechanic. A dash on top of a target is a champion level mechanic. I don't think he's going to be giving red up, is he? Yeah, no. Caitlyn's strong now, but KHA'ZIX is very strong, so I think it's fine for KHA'ZIX to take it. Obviously, Caitlyn, you could argue, has easier application of the red because she's higher range, but absolute one-shot potential the KHA'ZIX has. LeBlanc's dead, not too happy, and that probably, let's be honest, is being toxic right there. Unfortunately, that ping you know, it doesn't really get used for its actual reason and is mainly associated with just toxic players now, which is a shame because like I liked Riot's idea. Oh, Nami. Ow. I like Riot's idea of coming up with these new pings, and I don't think technically a bait ping is a bad one, but it has unfortunately just been taken over by the toxic element of the community. Which throughout the years of League of Legends, unfortunately, the toxic element of the community is quite a large portion. So some things, and a lot of things, sometimes have been ruined by it, which sucks. It does suck, but yeah. So right now, KHA'ZIX 12 for 3. 3 items complete. Obviously, Grudge itself is a very powerful item. And yet, again, right now, I don't think I can actually do anything about these pings. So apologies. It's annoying. It's annoying for me as well. It's annoying for everybody in the game. And that's something that I think Riot probably should look into is, I don't know, look at the percentage of how many people are actually using the bait ping correctly and like by its purpose, and look how many people are using it for a more toxic thing. I would wager it's probably 95% people are using it toxic, and probably 5%, and I would even say probably not even 5% people are using it in a not nice way. But yeah. So, what KHA'ZIX obviously clearly is doing is waiting for prey. He is an assassin. He is playing it exactly like Alien. He's waiting in the shadows, and he's waiting to pounce. Hilariously, like, even though the character is designed after Alien and stuff, that is how you play KHA'ZIX. You weirdly have to be a bit of a bush Wookiee. Which obviously I don't love the bush Wookiee playstyle, but it's a playstyle for assassins. Because obviously reminding everyone, KHA'ZIX is passive. When KHA'ZIX is not visible to the enemy team, his next attack against champion deals additional damage. So that is where, like, as KHA'ZIX, obviously his ultimate triggers this. When he goes into stealth, he pops out, he's getting his passive back up each time. But that is where being in a bush, and if someone walks into you as in a bush, you're doing the additional damage to them straight away. So, yeah. You wish they did more with the rivalry with Rengar? They used to be more into that. Riot's really calmed down with like champion rivalries and stuff, which is a shame because there's like a lot of cool rivalries, like the level 16 quests. If a KHA'ZIX and a Rengar is in the same game, whoever kills who first gets a benefit. They used to do that with the ice champions, Lissandra, Ashe, and Sejuani, I think. And there was the Frozen Crown. All right, enemy team's looking for their last hurrah. So they're going to try their best to see what they can do. Zeri's dancing around. KHA'ZIX goes for the one-shot. Doesn't get the one-shot. But yeah, this is honestly, this fight was more Caitlyn. Caitlyn is just free auto-attacking. Quadra kill. Can she end up with the Penta? Go on. I don't think the LeBlanc of all people probably will give it. But yeah. Oh, she dies against 1,000 gold, does the LeBlanc. But there we go. So very nice play by KHA'ZIX. High tempo early game, doesn't go back often to maintain how much they're doing in the early game, and then obviously went back with these huge power spikes and then continuously applied the pressure. So that was a really good game of KHA'ZIX, and he took it to the Echo, and obviously I will say the Echo didn't play great, but the KHA'ZIX also played very well, so it was kind of the mixture there. But that is going to be it. If you guys enjoy and you enjoy these commentaries, please do throw a like on it. What I would say in the comment section is, because I have had some feedback, people saying these are really good, I will be bringing back viewer spectates pretty soon. So that's where I'm going to be starting to watch the lower ranks again, and where it may be more that you could see your own games in those videos. But for high rating spectates, what champions do you guys want to see? Leave it in the comments, and I'll look through the comments if there's any popular things. You know, the same champion being commented, or one comment that's got a lot of thumbs up and stuff, then I'll likely do a commentary of that. But anyway, that's gonna be a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal